All right. Well, thank you guys for hopping on tonight. And I actually, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about tonight. I mean, I had an idea, but I listened to a training that Kendall Travers did in Deanna Herron's VP group, and she did it a few days ago. So I watched the recording today, and it falls right in line with what we've been talking about in terms of sponsoring. And she told us all about um, a S'more link and kind of her process and how she works this sponsoring and asking with a survey that's at the end. And so I'll go through kind of a little bit about how that works. And then later this week, just a heads up, I haven't posted it yet in our Facebook group, but Becky will be going live in our E3 Nation group, I think is what she said, on, okay, good, Wednesday or Thursday, to go over our new S'more link, because she has been working on one for us to use. And so that, look for that on Wednesday or Thursday night. And again, I'll post that in our Facebook group so we can all remember that. So first I want to start with talking about our system, because what we do in Arbonne is always the same thing. We just all might have different methods of how we do that, especially in this past year. I would say even further than that, maybe 2 or 3 years, where we haven't been doing very many in-home presentations. And that was something that we used to do a lot of. And that's really where a lot of us built our business from way back in the day, before technology made it so simple to do it this way. And, but what we do in Arbonne obviously is sales. We do enrolling, which is what we have to say now instead of sponsoring. So enrolling, as well as scheduling. And Kendall actually says she likes to add serving in there as well. So how can we serve other people? So focusing on scheduling, filling our calendar, of course, is super important. Obviously, we want to make sales. That's the whole idea of making an income, is making sales. But the enrolling piece is really where we can serve others by offering them this business opportunity. So when you are talking to people, or you have maybe your list of people that you're wanting to reach out to, lead with the business. And I know I talk a lot about like, get your Facebook parties booked, get your Facebook parties booked. And I probably have just skipped over that part of leading with the business. And so we're probably all going straight to asking for Facebook parties because it's easier, it's less scary, and there's more of a chance you're going to get more yeses. Let's face it, it's way easier. I mean, I think it's easier to do that than to ask for the business. But what happens is when you start leading with the business, you're still going to ask them to host a Facebook party, because they're either going to say no thank you to the business, and you say, okay, that's fine, no big deal, can you host a 15-minute Facebook party for me instead? Or if they say yes to the business and they join your team, that's how we can launch them, is basically through a 15-minute Facebook party. So either way, you're still going to get that Facebook party in there. But leading with the business always allows you to then go somewhere else in case they say no. It's kind of hard to be like, hey, have you ever heard of Arbonne before? No, I haven't. Okay, let me share with you some of the product information. Oh, I'm not interested in products. Oh, cool. Well, would you be interested in taking a look at the business opportunity? Like, it doesn't flow that way. Where if you start with the business opportunity and they say no, it's like, okay, well, now I can talk about products. I can talk about hosting. I can talk about referrals. I can ask them if all that is a no. I can ask them if I can follow back up in a couple months. So there's always somewhere to go from there. So really leading with the business first. And then the other thing I want to touch on real quick before I guess we get really into the leading with the business part, is making sure that when you are talking to people about this business, especially if you are a newer consultant, or maybe you've been a consultant for a while, but you're really jumping in and wanting to get more active and grow your business, make sure that you are actually using our products. Be a product of the product. And that was one thing that I would say I had the advantage of when we were doing in-home launches, and I would go to new consultants' homes, because then I could see with my own eyes what they have in their home that is from Arbonne. And if I go to wash my hands at the sink and it's Dial soap, I could be like, wait, why don't, we have the shea butter hand wash, it's awesome. Or, if they have their makeup out on their counter and it's all from some brand in the mall or something, it's like, whoa, you got it. It's a lot easier to talk to people about products and the business when you're actually using the products. And I would say probably 99% of the things that I use are from Arbonne. Um, I don't like the deodorant. Okay. So it's the only thing, it's the only thing that I don't use, but pretty much everything else is Arbonne. So make sure that you are definitely a product of the product, and coach your new consultants to also do the same thing, especially when we have that build for more pack. That is such an easy way to sign up as a consultant, do the build for more, and get a ton of products at 50% off. And that allows you to Arbonize your home and really get a sampling of more than just maybe the 30-day, which is what seems to be most consultants jump into with coming from the 30-day, but then that allows them to get skincare, some makeup, a little from the spa line, things like that. So being a product of the product, leading with the business. And when you're talking to people about the business, you don't have to make it like we talked about in our team meeting last week. And I think even on this call last Monday, you don't have to be weird about it. Like, don't make it a weird thing. Just say, hey, maybe it's somebody you have on Facebook who maybe you don't talk to a lot, or you don't have a lot of interaction, but you really like maybe something that she's posting, or she's positive, or whatever those traits are. It could be a he, obviously. Whatever those traits are that you're like, I really like this person, even though I may not know them very well. Just message them to be like, hey, I know we're friends on Facebook, but we really don't know each other that well. And I just really appreciate how positive and uplifting you are. You seem very professional. And I would love to chat with you about the business opportunity we have with Arbonne. Would you be willing to take a look at that? It's like 10, 15 minutes of your time, no big deal. And if it's not a fit, definitely not a big deal. Something simple like that. And that'll allow you to know where they're at. If they're like, no, thank you, not for me, then you can say, okay, no big deal. But would you do me a favor? Can you get a few friends in a Facebook group? I create it, do everything. We can do a 15-minute Facebook party. I hop in, I do a Facebook Live. All you have to do is invite your friends, and you're going to get a huge discount on a bunch of products of whatever you're interested in taking a look at. So having that flow of, again, starting with the business and then going to hosting for them, or hosting for you a 15-minute Facebook party. When you get a yes, I am interested in taking a look at the business opportunity, this is where I think we need to like really focus on what our next step is, because I think sometimes, including myself, I get like, okay, let's do this and this. And then for some person, I'm like, oh, let's do this and this. So being consistent with this and knowing exactly what it is we need to do. So if you get a yes for somebody who's wanting more information on the business opportunity, you can send them something else to look at, whether it's a video from Arbonne, maybe a My Story you can find on YouTube a lot of times, or you can actually find it on the Arbonne website as well. You can actually also, which I think this is a really good idea, if you have, if you're in that Live Well community, our big Facebook group, Becky's done Discover Arbonne's in there. You can add them to that group and then tag them in that video, because that will allow them to be like, oh, okay, and that's Becky. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's my national vice president. I'm going to tag you in this video. Take, 10, 15 minutes, listen to that, and I'm going to follow up with you. Will you be able to watch that by tomorrow night? So that's what's really important too, is not to just say, hey, I'm going to add you to it. Perfect. I'll add you, I'll tag you, watch the video, and I'll check back with you. If you are doing that and you're finding that you're not actually ever getting anywhere, you've got to schedule that appointment and do it with a sense of urgency. So we always do that 48 hours. Like that's our goal. We want to keep everything we do is within 48 hours. So if you are going to add them to that group, tag them in a video, and it's Monday, say, hey, can you watch it by tomorrow at 7 p.m.? I want to check back in with you. If they say no, how about Wednesday at 7 p.m.? So trying to keep it within the 48 hours, because then you're going to go from your next step from there. So once you get them in that group, and this is where this new S'more link is going to come in really handy. And I'm really excited about it, because when I was talking to Kim about the business opportunity, her and Lynn had me on a 3-way call, and they asked me the 4 questions. And some of you may be familiar with the 4 questions. Some of you may not know what the heck I'm even talking about. But it's basically 4 questions after someone has watched or listened to a Discover Arbonne presentation. And it's what surprised you the most about what you heard? Who do you know that could benefit from these products? Oh my gosh, what's number 3? What surprised you the most? Okay, totally just drew blank. Number 4, though, is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I'm interested in products only, 10 being I'm totally in, I'm going to jump in and start my business. Where do you find yourself? And the easy thing about those questions is that we were able then to know where people were at based on what their number was. And that is a part that I think a lot of times we aren't doing in the follow up. And so that allows us to not have any idea where people are. So then you just keep on following up, and you're like, why am I not getting anywhere? With this new SMORE link that Becky's going to roll out on Wednesday or Thursday, there is a survey, a Google Forms survey attached to the bottom of this SMORE link. So when you ask somebody and they say yes, and you send them the SMORE link and they watch this little video, they go through the information. At the end, there's a little questionnaire with some questions in there for them to answer and then submit it back. And that is going to go to either Becky, myself, or Jenny's email so that every day we can keep track of who's getting the surveys back and then letting you guys know, hey, so-and-so got back, filled the survey, she watched checked out the SMORE link, and she's an 8. Let's set her up on a 3-way call and talk to her about the business with one of the VPs. So I love that portion of having that survey, because also one of the things that Kendall said is that she has a gal who just promoted to area manager, and her team has really, she started doing this in October. Her team started really incorporating in January. And this gal that just promoted to area manager this month, for the month of March, she had 27 new preferred clients that she personally signed up for the month of March. And it was because what she did in her Facebook parties, she would go through or at each party, she would post that survey with the SMORE link with the survey, and said, hey, if you watch this, fill out the survey, I will send you a free gift. And she had all kinds of people doing that. And the free gift was they could pick their fizz flavor, or Becky's going to have it to where our people can pick their fizz flavor. And we're just going to send them a little, literally one fizz stick in the mail. Like that's their free gift, a little thank you card for watching it. So it doesn't have to be something that you're like doling out hundreds of dollars for everybody who filled out these surveys. Just have a sample set of fizz sticks and we can send those out to anybody who fills that out. But I love that idea because that, again, it allows you to know where people are at and what their interest level is in Arbonne. So you're not just wandering around in no man's land, like, I don't know what to do next. So after you have people who say yes, you send them something to watch or listen to, or the SMORE link with the survey, you're going to know where they're at. And if they are above a 5, actually, if they're going to be above, if they're an 8, 9, or 10, let's get them on a call for getting started with your VP. Because again, this is all within 48 hours. We want to get your new consultant started right away to keep that momentum and excitement going and get her in activity, get her to do the 15-minute Facebook parties, and help her get into her network and duplicate this same thing. So then she can say, as she's reaching out to people, hey, I just started my business. I'd love for you to take a look at this business opportunity. If I send you this link, would you be willing to go through it and send me the survey back at the end? Simple as that. It takes the pressure off of new consultants. It takes pressure off of us as well when we're doing this, because they're not going to send us a direct message saying, yeah, I watched it and I'm not interested. It's literally a survey that you're like, okay, I'm just casually getting a survey. It just makes it seem so much less scary. Would you guys agree? Just seems simpler to me. So like I said, Kendall's team has been doing this actively since January. And everything we do in Arbonne shows up 2 to 3 months down the road. You have to work that long before you really start to see the results. She said this month, she's going to have 2 new direct people in RVP qual this month. And she thinks she's going to have a direct nation in qual this month as well from January. She said that her business momentum for herself personally started in October when she did this, but her entire team embraced this in January. And that's a success they've been having just in the past couple of months of that growth. So I'm really excited about this SMORE link. And I think it's really going to make the business asks simpler for us. And again, like I've said, if you guys have questions about what to say to people, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to help you with that and make it to where it is just something that's just comfortable for you and you don't have to, overthink it or try to get the perfect message, because we know you can't say the right thing to the wrong person and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So just getting that message out and doing the ask, that is the activity we need to focus on. But having to be able to follow up with the SMORE link and the survey, I think is going to take us really to the next level of really knowing where people are at. And I will share, oh, where'd she go? She just left. Diane the other day asked me about reaching out to people when you're asking them like, hey, you know, have you heard of Arbonne, or how do you start that conversation? If you guys are, if you don't know where to start the conversation, you can ask something as simple as, hey, has anyone ever talked to you about Arbonne? Because that also is going to allow you to know if, yes, someone's talking about Arbonne. Oh, cool. Are you a preferred client? Oh no, I bought some from my aunt 6 years ago. Okay, that's an open gate and a green light, because that means they've used the product and they no longer have a consultant that they're working closely with. If we talk to somebody and they say, yeah, I'm a preferred client. Okay, perfect. Who's your sponsor? Maybe I know them. That just allows you to know that if they say, oh, I have no idea, I just got online and ordered. So you don't have a consultant you're working with? No, I just go online and order. Okay, well, I would love to serve you. If you have any questions, let me know. Just opening that conversation up, but always make sure that if they are familiar with Arbonne and they are a preferred client of somebody else's and they are working closely with them, or at least, you know, somewhat have some sort of communication with them, we do not steal preferred clients from other people. We do not want to be that team. So just the integrity of for ourselves and our business, make sure that we send them back to their consultants if they are somebody who is interested in the business or anything like that. So just starting up that conversation. But I should go back and read actually what Diane had asked. But it was basically about how to ask somebody that you're like, I don't even know what to say to this person. I haven't talked to them forever. Just again, you don't have to make it weird, just make it natural. Oh, whoops, sorry. I can't find her message. I wish she was on here. I can't find it. Anyway, she just wanted to know how to reach out to people. So if you have questions like that, let us know and we can help you. But it's really can be something just starting a conversation. And like I said, after hopefully Wednesday or Thursday, we will have that SMORE link with the survey. And I hope when we have that, I would love for you guys to do the same thing I'm going to do, which is post it in every single one of my Facebook parties. I'm going to be that person and go back and do that. And same thing, fill the survey out for a free gift. I don't care if I have to give away 5 boxes worth of fizz sticks to people. If that leads me to 27 new preferred clients for April direct to me, I'm okay with it. So do you guys have any questions on that? I don't see anything in the chat. No. Okay. Well, I will post again in our Facebook group to Becky's information about Wednesday or Thursday, and then we'll be looking for that for her live on that SMORE link. But again, focusing on the business ask, we have to get our consultant enrolling up and continue to serve other people and help them with this business opportunity. All right, you guys have a great rest of your evening. There is no 8 o'clock call with Becky because she's going to do that later this week. Good night.